Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. You know why we do this? Do you know why you close your hands? In prayer, why? It's to close the energy, to bring everything, to surround yourself with yourself. And by doing that, you bring the left and the right together. And if you notice, this part will fit there. It'll definitely fit there. It'll fit right there where your sternum is. Yeah? So you'll find that actually placing this in many traditions is not necessarily to do with prayer, but it's also to do with your health and well-being. So namaste, bowing that divinity in you, you bow to the divinity in me, that kind of thing. If we see each other like that, life is good, isn't it? So, okay. So today what I want to talk about really a little bit, what last week I touched on was how we can look at our health and improve our immunity. And we've been going on about this for a while. And how certain things make our body environment, internal environment, toxic, acidic, and how we can neutralize that. Walking in the ground barefoot, not eating certain kinds of processed foods, in fact, not eating any processed food, avoiding any carbonated drinks, alcohol, that kind of stuff, but also bringing something that alkalines the body. So a little bit of lemon in hot water in the morning alkalines the body. Making sure that you don't get too stressed alkalines the body. And an alkaline body will not allow your body to become ill. You know, it's such a good focus to have generally. The other thing I want to talk to you about today is something about, all right, so we are now moving into what we anticipated with all good understanding that by the winter, there is this second squeeze that's coming in, and however we want to look at it, we all have different opinions and different views, but the impact that this is having on people and will have on people. Not just you, okay, you might be able to take care of yourself and look after yourself, but there are people around you. There are young people in particular, people in school age, preschool age, and if the parents are stressed, then the children are stressed. And the impact on mental health of young people has now started. It's like the first ripple, and it's only going to increase. So you have self-harm, you have suicides, you have, today we read somewhere in as a result of the restrictions in Coventry, they reckon something like 50% of the business will go down. I mean, just get that in your head. And this isn't some average Joe just sitting in a pub saying this. This is, I think, the chief executive of the CBI or the Chamber of Commerce. What impact does that have on mental health? What impact does that have on just affording your rent, your utilities? And then you've got smart meters, which just switch off somewhere else. Can't pay, it's okay, I don't care who you are. Switched off. So you can see how the dependency culture that we've been brought into, we've kind of grown into, has now kept most of us as prisoners. Google and YouTube and Twitter have censored so many sites. You can't, I mean, some of the posts that I put, just random questions, and they get censored. They get pushed down. They get removed. Get a little warning. So anything that challenges the truth, now you get pushback that you can't ask these questions. There are religions, you can't ask the questions about the religion because they'll kill you. Because it's part of the religion. You can't ask the question about this. I'm saying God is in this cup. You can't ask me no. And if you do, I'm going to get all my cup followers to get you. That's how absurd it is. We're in the same space now, where if you ask the question, you're ostracized, you're insulted. It's like a belief system. It's become a religion. Either you're a believer or you're a non-believer. And people are fighting each other. Division again. But I've always said, it's not love that's going to bring humanity together. It's pain. And the time is now where we are all beginning to experience suffering. This ain't right. Something doesn't fit right. This is going to affect my job. All right, let's assume everything is correct that we're told. If 50% of businesses go down, which is likely, I can tell you from our own business, from 40 to some 12, 15 people. How does that happen? And what impact does it have on those people? And where they're going to get another job? So hospitality, leisure industry, dead. It ain't waking up for a while. You can meet, but you can't sing. Ask yourself the question, what the hell's all that about? And if it's such a deadly illness, why are we just throwing our masks on the floor? Just ask yourself the question, where are those yellow bins? If it's so deadly, just regular questions, not challenging, just regular questions. And you find that it doesn't stack up. Now, either you accept the reality and there's a dissonance. Inside it doesn't feel right, but you are forced to accept. That's called cognitive dissonance. That's what happens within you. This keeps you in a state locked. You're not going to move any further. You're not going to move. You're not going to grow. You're going to be in that pain state, that suffering state, that fear state for a while. So either you make a decision, okay, this is true and I'm going to go with it 100%. I don't care about anything else. Not going to question anything. And live with the consequences, whatever they are, good or bad. Or you say, I'm not actually engaging in this. I'm not engaging in this because it doesn't feel right to me. I'm not engaging in it. And what does that mean? I don't allow the narrative to be in my mind all the time. You put anything on now, BBC, ITV, Sky, anything, they are doing the same prayer. They're praying to COVID. What is a prayer? It's a remembrance. So you can either remember, so you use mantras in order to pray, to remember. And what are we doing? We're doing a global prayer to a virus. And once you start looking at it for what it is, you realize, do I want to be part of this or not? Decide for yourself. But the time is coming upon us. And I say this clearly. The time is coming upon humanity, on people, to stand up and say where they're at. Because the consequences of where we are going are so significant that you have, where did I read this? A couple of days ago. I think you have 475 deaths a day from heart attacks. Where's that reported? Something like 110 or 112 from strokes, from cancers. The highest one, I think, was cancers. Where's that reported? Where do people go to get their treatment now? Freaked out. Is this actually worth the sacrifice of all of this? Just asking the questions. Just asking the questions. And I'm asking the questions because it doesn't feel right to me. And I'm asking the questions because I want to be safe, but I want a sustainable life, like with everyone else. But if 50% of plus businesses go down under the current estimates, that's just in the local area we're in. What about Manchester? So we have to ask ourselves, where do we stand? Where do we stand as human beings, and how do we operate as a society? Because it's no big deal. Life is sustainable. Magpies don't go to a supermarket. Squirrels don't do it. Earthworms don't do it. Trees don't do it. The whole system is self-sustainable. So this is how it works. You get something for free. Let's call it water. You put it in a bit of plastic and you sell it back to you. Say, here. That's how it works. Take that which is free, which is your right, and give it back to you for a fee. That's how it works. And we happily go for it. And then we want to save the world because there's so many plastic bottles everywhere. We deserve this. Time to wake up. We deserve this. Time to wake up. Yeah? No point in complaining about environmental stuff if you keep going around buying water. I can't have it both ways. So humanity, as I'm saying, we are in a stage where we, as human, globally, and I'm saying this from my own understanding, that we've had for me, for many, many years, but more recently for the last 2-3 years. We've known the date when the whole thing was going to kick off. We told you the date at which the lockdown was going to come down, the protests were going to start, and now we'll say the riots will begin. Because people can't live on fresh air. And people will be angry. Around the world, Nigeria, USA, USA, just wait another 10 days. You'll see the whole thing is going to erupt. And this is necessary for humanity. So, let's put that aside. Unless we come across a bit of pain, we don't wake up, do we? You don't try and fix it, do you? Unless you're made a bit uncomfortable. So we've tolerated discomfort for a while. But now the discomfort's getting a little bit to the point where we think something needs to be done here. So we're starting to ask new questions, and people are standing up, saying, hey, hold on, need to see how I can preserve jobs, how I can preserve the economy, etc. So in doing that, there is a possibility. There's a possibility. There's a hope. There's a hope. But the first thing is we have to disengage from this and say, no, I've had enough of this. I don't want this. All right, just put it aside, not interested in this. We've seen it, we've analyzed it, we've looked at it, and it just doesn't smell right, it doesn't look right, it just doesn't feel right. So put it aside. If you want it, go for it. But for my understanding, put it aside. But then we say, well, what's the alternative? Well, the alternative is starting to form. This is the alternative. Where we look at each other as human beings and say, look, what can I do to help you? Right? Is there something I can help with? Something I can do, something I can learn? What can I do? As a humanity, it's possible. The Soho Road Sikh temple roughly served 15,000 meals free of charge a day. There's a system that can be done. You bring your cup full, you bring your cup full, you bring your cup full, let's put it together and we can all create something that can feed many others. When we share things, abundance grows. When you try and hold on to something, it shrinks and dies. So we are coming to a stage in humanity, just humanity along the way, and we will have this conversation in 6 months' time, and you'll see we will have evolved as a race, as a humanity. And as we evolve, we will start looking at each other with more compassion and saying, if I can save your job, I can save my job. not just how can I save my job. No? So that understanding is only dawning upon us because of the circumstances we're in. So we change our attitude and our perception. We give thanks for the fact that we brought to our senses. Otherwise, you wouldn't learn. Things may have gone a lot worse. So we give thanks that we have brought to our senses. And then we choose our way forward. What can I do to help others? What can I do? What can I contribute? And sometimes it's just our voice. Look, how many Jesuses did we need? How many Buddhas did you need? How many Nanaks did you need? How many Hitlers did you need? How many Trumps do you need? One. Only one can make the difference. Just one. And each one of us has the same capacity. But exercise that. Just the intention to say enough is enough. Because as you walk away from something, it begins to die. Wherever your intention is, that's the power. That's how it's to do with consciousness, and it's to do with intention. And it's to do, if I can keep you distracted enough, if I can keep you in a particular drama enough, then you're not really looking after other things. That's just the way it works. That's how the mind works. The mind likes to attach itself, particularly to stories that make it feel threatened, because it wants to fix them. Yeah, that's what the nature of ego is, self-preservation. So it wants to fix it. Yeah. So whatever gives it threat, it tries to fix it. And if someone offers it a little bit of security, like, hey, have a vaccination, it'll fix that. The ego will run that. Fear, security. One hand fear, one hand security. Right? Time to take sovereignty. You have so much power as just being, not going out and turning the world upside down, just being you. Because you are ultimately that peace, that stillness, that silence, and collectively, you're like a flame. And that radiates, that radiation radiates. Every time you sit in meditation, it's a ripple. It goes throughout existence and comes back. How insignificant you may think it is. But we have a choice. And we have a purpose. The purpose is for me to cultivate this sense of peace. That's my purpose. And I'm going to do the best I can. And how do I do this? By stepping beyond the mind. Why? Because the mind tells you stories. And the stories always keep you entertained. Yeah? And that entertainment isn't necessarily beneficial for you or for me. Yeah? So time to step out. Every so often, step out of it. And in doing that, you send a ripple, an energetic ripple, just like you send a ripple every time you're fearful. Same thing. Cultivate this. And time will tell us. Time will tell us, did we do the right thing or not? Yeah? Trust life and trust yourself. Because you have no one else to rely on anymore. Telling you that now. Can't rely on anyone else. You need to know your truth. And in knowing that truth, there is such sovereignty and empowerment. And through that, we change the world. Yeah? If not, we'll have a damn good go. Or at least changing ourselves. As they say, can't change the world, change yourself. If you change yourself, the world changes. So, out of the fear, into optimism, hope, sovereignty, collectiveness. Look after each other. Find out how your neighbors are doing. How are they? Right? Yeah, we all want to be socially isolated, but you know what? Can't live on your own, my friends. Can't do it. How long? Loneliness is one of the biggest contributors to anxiety and death. Yeah. Forced loneliness isn't acceptable for anything. Just go to the zoo. Have a look at some of those animals. And we've been caged, but the cage is in the mind. And you have the key, and the key is meditation. Yeah. Okay, I think I've ranted on enough, as usual. Yeah. Don't mean to offend anyone. I don't mean to challenge anyone's views. But authenticity starts with you. Authenticity starts with yourself. If you're not true to yourself, then really what's the point of me trying to teach you meditation? Because meditation is about authenticity. Yeah? So, anyway, let's go. Okay, so as usual, just make sure that your back is straight and upright. Loosen your neck a little bit. Close your eyes and close your mouth. And as you breathe in, an intention to bring your focus within yourself. Take a note of your internal climate, so to speak. Just sense your body as best as you can. Notice anything dominant, like a pain, an ache, a tightness, an itch. Locate it. No commentary, no judgment. Just location. Notice what kind of thoughts you're having or have been having. Bring your focus to the chair that you're sitting on. Notice how it holds you in place. Allow your body to soften a little bit so it's held. You're not going to go anywhere. Notice there are sensations where the chair makes contact with your body. Bring your focus to those sensations. As you breathe in, bring your focus upwards so you become aware of your hips. As you breathe out, bring your focus down your thighs towards your knees. Do it gently. Take your time. From your knees, move your focus down towards your feet. Moving to the soles of your feet. And see if you can notice the sensations at the bottom of your feet. Maybe the floor beneath you, or whatever you have got your feet on. Just make sure your awareness scans the soles of your feet. Bringing your focus back to the chair. Again, notice that you are held in place. You are part of this big existence and you're held in place. You can't be anywhere else apart from where you are. You can only breathe the air that's around you. You can only sit in the chair that's beneath you. And everyone else around you and everything else around you can only be in the place that they are. You can't be in two places at the same time, neither can anything else. So just being present to ourselves. As you breathe in, bring your focus to your lower back. And on your next breath in, take this focus up towards your middle back. Moving it up towards your shoulder blades. And then from your shoulders, bringing your focus down to your elbows. From your elbows to your wrists. Hold your focus at the palms of your hands. And then becoming aware of your fingers. Now move your focus to the tips of your fingers if you can. As you breathe in, bringing your awareness towards your eyes. Now notice the darkness. Becoming aware of awareness. Allow this part of the body to relax and soften. Bring your focus to your tongue. Allow it to soften. Notice the sensations within your mouth. Then allow your face to relax. As you breathe in, once again, becoming aware of your whole body as best as you can. Bring your focus down to the chest. Notice how you feel within yourself. Do you feel unsettled? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel uncomfortable? See if you can gauge how you feel within yourself. On your next breath out, open your awareness to all the sounds around you. Simply listening to the sounds around you. Try not to look for any sound or seek it out. Allow the noises, wherever they are, to just simply come towards you. Allow your awareness to follow the sound of this bell. Listening. And again. Gently bring your focus just beneath your nose. Your intention is to hold your focus beneath your nose and to watch your breath. And all you're doing at this moment is simply watching the movement of your breath. So we're going to do it in little steps. The in-breath comes in, the out-breath goes out. When you find that your focus has drifted, it's been distracted by a thought or a sound, notice the distraction, come back to your breath. And now we begin to explore the breath. So notice that your breath has 4 parts. The in-breath that comes in, there's a gap before the out-breath goes out, and there's a gap or a pause. See if you can note the 4 parts of your breath, allowing the breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your breath, watching the in-breath moving in, little pause, out-breath moving out, little pause. Now bring your focus in particular to your out-breath. Follow it all the way till the end. See if you can notice a little pause at the end of your out-breath before the in-breath begins. Allowing every out-breath to relax your body just a little bit further. Allowing every out-breath to take you deeper and deeper into this moment. Following your out-breath all the way till the end. Stay with your breath. Noticing that gap all the way at the end of your breath before the in-breath begins. Now notice how you're breathing. Notice how the breath feels. Notice if your breath feels fast or if it feels slow. Does the in-breath flow the same as the out-breath? Is one slower? Is one faster? Does your breath feel long or does it feel short? Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel erratic? Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel light or does it feel heavy? Stay with your breath. Does your breath feel cool or does it feel warm? Does your breath have a sound? Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it goes out. Listening to the in-breath as it comes in, listening to the out-breath as it goes out. Does your in-breath sound the same as your out-breath? Stay with your breath. On your next breath out, begin to listen to the sounds around you again. Once again, just allowing the sounds to come to you. Listening to the sounds that are close to you. And listening to the sounds that are further away. Again, we're going to use the sound of the bells and see if you can notice the silence at the end. allowing yourself to completely immerse in the silence. Once again, notice the stillness at the end of the bell. Take a moment to recognize your experience. Notice if it feels peaceful or calm. Focus on the calmness. If it feels silent, focus on the silence. Notice how this moment continues by itself, moment by moment, breath by breath. Notice while everything else around you is changing, you remain still and silent, unchanging in your stillness, unchanging in your silence. Notice the timeless quality of this moment. And notice in this moment, only you can have your experience. Gently bringing your focus back to your breath and just sitting with your breath. The breath breathes by itself. The body lives by itself while you just simply sit and watch. Stay with your breath. Stay with the stillness. Notice there is no anger, there is no fear, there is no anxiety. Simply by being present to your breath. Notice how your breath is breathing by itself. On your next breath out, expand your awareness so you become aware of your whole body again, as best as you can. Notice you're still sitting on the same chair. Notice that there are sensations where the chair makes contact with your body. Notice that you can sense your thighs. You can move your focus down towards your ankles. And you can sense your feet. Your back is still straight and upright. Your shoulders, arms, hands are relaxed and comfortable. Your eyes are still shut. Your mouth is still closed. Your face is still relaxed. Coming back to your breath again. And now you notice as you breathe in, you can sense your body. And as you breathe out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in, and in your own good time, gently opening your eyes, bringing some of that experience. Enjoy the silence before the bell. everyone back? Just about. Anyway, thank you very much. Kal Saha Pathe.